Hi everyone, thanks for joining this webinar. In the next 30 minutes, we're going to be recapping some features we've been working on for the last 6 months to a year, in case you haven't seen them, some more of the recent advanced innovations that we've launched, and also a sneak peek at Fydelia version 2.0. Now, I promise you that we're only going to do one slide in this presentation. So we'll start with a feature recap. As I've said, this is the things that you've probably seen already in the demos if you've had a demo with us before. Always good to have a refresher. It doesn't go too deep. There's plenty more to discuss, of course, as well. But let's have a quick run through of where we are. We're also going to look at some advanced features. So things that you may not have seen. You've seen, for example, digital scratch cards and so on. That's something that has been around for a little while now. But we do have some new games on the scene, which is, especially with the World Cup coming up, I'm looking forward to showing that to you as well. We've also got presence-based campaigns. This is a real twist on the presence-based analytics that you might already be used to with dwell times and so on. What we'll be doing here is having a look at how you can use presence-based analytics to trigger campaigns in real time. So we'll come to that. Very interesting stuff. Let's also have a quick look at the World Cup coming up soon, the Frenzy. We'll then take a look at the new version of Fydelia V2.0, and the outcome of this webinar will be to find 5 brands who will be interested in seeing V2 in action. And then we'll have some upcoming events to look at as well. Okay, so first of all, what I'll do is I'll do a quick demo. As I've said, you've probably seen this before, but it's something that it's always worth a recap. So what we've got here is we work with Formula One Arcade in the States. And what I'll do is I'll just run through this as a basic demo for you. So for example, we can do the basics here. We want to keep the user journey very low friction. Less is definitely more where possible. And if you can micro survey later on with follow-ups and maybe visit surveys, that kind of thing, always better. A few features to show you on this form as well is that, first of all, we're not a your logo here company at all. What we can do is really a canvas. So any design you like at all, we can just create that for you. So we often get designers sending us the imagery and the design that they want to implement. Now, when I fill in the form, you'll notice something on the continue button here. This is something we released about 1.5 years ago. If I choose my email, you'll see that it was checking. What that's doing, it's checking with your CRM to see, has this person ever interacted with you before? Have you got an opt-in from them? Now, if you have, then it's not going to show an opt-in on the next page. Okay, so let me just put some kind of never seen before. We'll put that as an email. And I'll exit terms and conditions. Also, if there is a birthday on file, then why ask a question that you know the answer to? The idea of this, we call it influence flow, is that it'll skip anything that's already known just to keep the friction down, get the people online as quickly as possible. Now, this is the birthday pop-up. If you've ever followed Simon Sinek, the Start With Why guy, the point there is that he really wants to start the marketing with the purpose, focusing on the outcome and the why. So in this case, instead of showing drop-down lists, which we can do as well, asking for your day, month, and year, it's going to be much more engaging to have a start with why. Why are we collecting your birthday? You've probably been into venues where you go in there and you connect to the Wi-Fi and it's like, when were you born? How old are you? What day? Invalid year, you know, that kind of thing. We don't want that kind of experience. We want people to know why you're asking, because it is, after all, quite a personal question. Let's celebrate your special day. When is it? Now, people can either choose here or they can skip, as you'll see later. So I'm going to choose just a month like this. I'll choose next. This is really nice on a mobile as well, because it's a mobile slider. Now I can just choose a date, year. Next, what year? We can be playful here. We can say none of your business or whatever. We can skip. You don't even have to ask day or even year. You can disable that if you wish. Now, the idea is that you'll get no date of birth at all in your CRM, or you'll get a valid date. We don't really want the typical, everyone's birthday is today. Isn't that amazing? So let's get some data quality. Then we have ad cards as well. I'm actually showing this webinar on a smaller resolution screen, so you don't have to zoom out. Quite big screens here. So this might appear quite large on your screen. And ad cards are a great opportunity to garner engagement in a particular service, offers, and so on. Now, I don't know how many of you were at the RMI in January, but Mark Bentley did a great presentation there from HD Insights on a couple of things. One of them relates to this. 34% of guests who were interviewed said they had expected to spend more money. Now, that's a disaster. There's money being left on the table. So to avoid that, ad cards can help you do some in-venue upsells and advertising. In this case, we're going to try and get people back on a Tuesday. Maybe Tuesday's a bit quieter and so on, get some bums on seats. Ad cards like this, they don't need to have an opt-in. I'll come back to that in a minute. It could just be a next, but it's always interactive. The user has to touch next. It's not a countdown timer. You can also schedule these ad cards for time of day, day of week, or even a date range as well. So you can line up all of your offers weeks in advance. You don't need to be there publishing them. And even worse, forgetting them. How many times you might have seen that? You've got a Halloween offer still showing at Christmas, for example. Now, the opt-in, this is what we call a micro opt-in. And what this does is, I was going to say circumvents. It's a way of getting around the GDPR rule of opt-in for marketing. Because if someone gets at the end of this journey and says, no thanks, I don't want to receive newsletters or promotions, but they show an interest in this ad card, they say, tell me more. It's called a legitimate business interest, which means you can contact them about that particular offer, get in touch with them, and maybe you can even encourage them to then opt in again for marketing and promotions. So I'll just continue there. Now, finally, we famously introduced this quite a few years ago. I think it's become quite a standard thing now. Tick boxes don't really work. A tick box will get you around 25%. Maybe you can push that with some clever wording on your tick box, but people generally have a blind spot to tick box these days. So what we want, again, very visual, start with why. We want to send you some promotions and so on. And the opt-in rate here will be easily 75, 80%. You may see offers on the web for similar systems offering 90%, 95% opt-in. We do have a couple of clients that get that. It does personally make me feel a bit uncomfortable because you need to check your unsubscribes as well. Could it be you're almost tricking them to get opted in? They think they're not going to get internet if they don't opt in. Okay, so we find a good sweet spot would be 75 to 85% opt in, and then that means hopefully they will stay and they are actually interested in your office. Okay. Now, behind the scenes, you can also fire things like Facebook Pixel or our Meta Pixel as well. So if people use the famous hide my email on the iPhone, and they may be interested in offers, they're not going to see them, of course. But if we can fire the Meta Pixel when they opt in, we can push those into your Facebook Audience Manager. Okay. Now, there'll be more about that in July. I'll come to that towards the end. The Social Media Mania that's being run on 9th of July in Piccadilly. As I say, I'll come back to that in a moment. Plenty of other features to talk about there, but I don't want to go into too much detail right now. I think that's probably enough for the moment. The other things we're doing, the advanced features, I'm going to show you actually on mobile. I think it's going to be a little bit more relevant, actually, seeing as most people are going to be on mobile. Let me just get that up for you. So let's take a look, for example, at the digital scratch card. What's below the ice? I've got it on my phone here. You don't have to participate in the games, but gamification is a really great way to get engagement. Let me just explain why gamification came about. We were working with a Licini group up in Scotland a good couple of years ago now, and they were asking around Christmas time how can they get higher engagement in the venue with the opt-ins, and more importantly, how can you actually get somebody to when they connect to get the table of people to connect as well, because otherwise you've just got the lead booker or the person who's paying is the one really engaging in the Wi-Fi. Our solution, make other people jealous. And so our plan here is to give them a game. They're going to come back with maybe a free cocktail or some kind of offer. And everyone else is, of course, going to pull their phone out their pocket and they're going to want a piece of the action. So let's have a look here. What's below the ice? It does sound a bit Stephen King, as I've said before. One scratch. Really nice on a mobile. There we are. Now there's the kicker. Be sure to accept promotions to redeem your prize. Now, why do we do that? Well, that's because GDPR works both ways, buddy, as they say. If you want to do a value exchange, which they're going to understand, then they're going to opt in on the next screen, give you some marketing details, opt in for marketing, and then they're going to get their prize. Now, with selected CRMs at the moment, we'll be rolling out to many more. You will be able to trigger a campaign directly from your CRM. So if you're using Airship, for example, we can drop them into a group. If you're using Impact Data's Talkbox, we can link them to a promotion ID, and that will trigger the journey. In general, we do not like engaging directly with the guests apart from the Wi-Fi journey. That's the CRM's job, and we don't do CRM. We'd rather you use the best in class. Okay. So we've got some other games as well. I'll show you this one as well. I believe they're not going anymore. The Panther Milk, they were doing a promotion back in the day. And this one was a puzzle game. So here I can actually put the puzzle pieces on. It's a brand promotion, which means I'm engaging with the brand. I'm interacting with the brand. So it's very strong brand marketing. Okay. So again, everyone's a winner, but there it is again. Be sure to accept marketing on the next page. Now, we also do styles of gaming which might be a little bit different than your standard puzzle game or scratch card. For example, with Domino's, we've been working on something with them, and this is a pizza puzzle. Am I going to embarrass myself? Live demos, don't you love it? There we go. Put the puzzle there. I've got a countdown time. I normally do it under 10 seconds, so just so you know. So we're also interested in hearing any ideas for games that you have as well. We would love to do something maybe more in line with your brand. For example, somebody requested a spin the wheel. That's right here. So I'm just going to say OK, and I can just pull down to spin. OK. So the idea here is gamify the Wi-Fi experience, make it more engaging, and also maybe somebody can win something as well. For the World Cup, I think I'm going to be embarrassed to show you this one. It's going to be hard to do if I can score. I do get 5 in a row sometimes, but here I'm going to try and score top corner. Here we go. That's one. Again, bit of fun for the World Cup. You can choose what prize you get. I just missed. There's also an advertising opportunity on the boards behind the goal, as you can see as well. So maybe you want to advertise something behind there as well. So again, just a bit of fun. I think he passed out. There we go. Okay, there we go. So, gamification. Let's hear your ideas on that. I'd love to see what you have in mind for that. I would say the most advanced one we've got, though, in terms of campaigns, apart from gamification, would be targeted presence campaigns. So real time. This is something I really wanted to show you guys as well. So here, for example, I've got an example campaign that's been running at the moment, and let me explain what this is. Now, you may have seen our Instagram ads recently. You would have seen it also at HD 360, where what we can do is we can create a campaign like this. Again, it's on a bit of a small screen here, just so you don't have to zoom up. We call it the Cheeky Pint. There's a few others I'll talk about as well. Okay, there we go. So Cheeky Pint, what is this? When somebody connects to Fydelia, the next time they walk past your venue, the way iPhones, Samsungs, the way they'll work is they've already connected to a trusted network, which means they're going to try and connect out to trusted networks as you're walking around town. So you don't even have to take your phone out your pocket, but Fydelia will be told that you're nearby. Okay, so what we can do with that is we can say, if that person is seen, we're going to slide this, say 3 times in the next 2 weeks, for example, then as soon as they qualify, as soon as that condition triggers, we can fire a campaign, a flash offer through your CRM. And I would bet that you're going to get much more engagement through an SMS. Not many people are going to be checking their emails as they walk. So get them a flash offer immediately. We'll also have a cool down period as well to make sure that that same person doesn't figure it out and start running past your venue each day. You can say for 30 days, for example, they're not going to even see any more campaigns. There's a lot of extra features to this. For example, it will make sure that the guest isn't coming into your venue anyway, because imagine if they were actually about to come in, then it would be a real shame if you send them an offer and they were about to come in anyway. So what we'll do is we'll wait about 30 seconds to see, well, did they come in? And if they didn't, then we're going to fire that offer. Okay. Now you would have seen that, as I mentioned, on the HD 360. And I think it was this one here. This was the campaign. So as we can see, we've got proximity detection. First thing we're going to do is notice that the person walked past. Did they qualify for the campaign? How many times did they walk past? And then do some real-time conversion as well. Okay, so just going back. I'll just go back again. I did mention some others as well. We've got others called cold coffee campaign. This is a nice idea in that what we'll be doing here is that if someone's in your venue and they're still there after, say, 45 minutes, 1 hour, we can send out a playful flash offer. So is your coffee cold? Come and get a top up for £1. We'll watch your bag, something like that. And also World Cup as well, as I mentioned on this one here. Germany-Denmark kicks off in an hour. Come and get your free pint or book a table. Make sure you get a good place. So these are the kind of things we want to be working with you on. So after this webinar, get in touch. Let me know if you're interested in any of these. Now, I don't see any hands up or anything like that, so I'm going to continue. The final part of this is just to look at the new version. So Fydelia 2.0. What is it? Why is it? Fydelia has been running for several years now. And what we wanted to do is completely refresh the look and feel. So there's definitely some cosmetic improvements to the system. However, there's some very big differences in terms of the approach to Wi-Fi. We're not just talking about splash pages here anymore. We're talking about your purpose. What is it you really want to do? So what's your goal? What's your outcome that you're looking for? And then we can start to look at tailoring the journeys, for example. So you'll have the dashboard. We already have the dashboards, of course, in the existing Fydelia. These are customizable as well. So you can tailor your own dashboard, save them as templates and so on as well. But let's get to the most important part of this. Now, I'm going to edit a guest journey. A guest journey we've separated from venues. As you see, venues is now in a separate place on the dashboard. The reason is, if you've got 50 venues, 100 venues, you don't want to have to create 50 splash pages, 100 splash pages, but you still want the attribution. You still want to know where the guest was when they walked in the venue. So let me just edit one of these journeys. And here we can design a journey which is generic. So what happens when we're designing a journey? Well, first of all, we're going to see a form. Which form is it? Well, I can choose from my list of forms that I've already created in the template section over here. We've got the form templates. Then what do I want to do? Let's ask, for example, for birthday. So I'm going to put birthday on there. The reason we're doing it this way is we've had some feedback from clients who say they skipped the birthday and then we made an offer. Okay. Well, in that case, what we can do is let's first put an ad. Let's encourage them. Let them know. Bring your family for your birthday. Celebrate your special day and so on. And then we can actually go to birthday. We can even say on the ad card, is it an opt-in? If it is an opt-in, we can then put a decision afterwards. So let's put condition after there. Did they say yes to the ad card? If they did show interest in the ad card, let's ask their birthday. If they didn't, well, let's not bother them with birthday. They're obviously not interested. Okay. In fact, if they said no, maybe we can interest them in another ad card. And let me just actually put this full screen for you. It's probably a bit small there. There we go. Now, if you've got a data connector, and we've got plenty of those, let's say, I don't want to choose Airship, for example. You can put different data connector settings depending on what happens. Maybe you drop them into a birthday group. Maybe you drop them into a promotion group. Or we can just drop them here. Everyone goes into Airship at the end. Another big change on here is with the current Fydelia, it's you have to really publish the view, the splash page, sorry, to see, to view the journey. Here, it's all built in. We can start to see, well, what does it look like on different devices and so on. We can actually follow the journey as well, so we can complete the entire flow with that. And all of the media is stored over in the media library. Again, so let's leave this for now. So we've got all of our media here in one place. It's not going to be stored in your splash page, so it's you can share it across all of your journeys. Okay. Plenty more to discuss on version 2. Very interested in your feedback on this. We'd love you to come on board as a beta tester. That will be starting at the end of this month, basically first week of June. So let's chat between now and then to see if you're interested in trying one or more of your venues. I don't want to leave without giving a shout out to Mark McCullough and co. The Social Media Mania conference is back. It's on London, 9th July in the box in Piccadilly. I'll be there. We're one of the sponsors, so really looking forward to seeing you there. I won't miss it because it's also my birthday, so I don't think I'll forget. So that's that. See you there. Go to socialmediamania.co.uk and I'll leave it there. I think we're just before the 30-minute mark. That's great. Thank you so much for attending, everyone. I'll be sending out videos as well for those of you who couldn't attend. Be sure to follow us as well on Fydelia Wi-Fi, on Instagram, on YouTube. We're doing a lot of cool campaigns there, thanks to the help of Atomic Digital. Some fun, engaging ads to have a look at there as well. Thank you for your time and have an outstanding day.